Gale. How are you?
I'm well.
How's things been?
Been eventful. Waiting for a few worldly things to come about the election stuff, holidays.
Sure, I guess everyone's worried about that. It's like everything's on hold. So, well, in the middle of all that, we still have our little story that we've been talking about for almost a year now. This section that we recorded. Obviously, we had years before which we didn't record, but just had within our community playing it and stuff, and that's been going on. You know, I mean, I've been interacting with you about that since 2007. So thank you again for being one of the oldest people in this thing.
Yes, I am oldest.
Well, here comes a drink. Here comes a drink. What should we? Where would you like to? Where would you like to? Where would you like to begin as far as? Can we have a recap of the last few things? Can we just talk about it? Obviously, you've been the storyteller for the last couple of episodes because there's characters that were friends with Penn that went into the book that he let them go into, but then Penn himself did not go into it. And then lately, just the last time, one of the characters, Isabella, was trying to leave the world because she realized that you could leave the world through the book, but then the book would be left behind, which means anyone could grab it there. And she's trying to find a way to bring it with her. And that was, she had the idea the last time that the stone circle that used to be the liminal space between Penn's world, or the world of Xaltia, the real gems is called, and then the rest of the world beyond, was in the stone circle that she had an idea of, and didn't quite know how she had that idea, but I guess she rolled for it or something. But of course she hasn't done that yet, she's still in that world. Meanwhile, Penn has been, where has Penn been? That'd be a great way to begin it. Where's Penn right now? Last time you were in the desert looking down into a world that you didn't want to go into.
Yeah, we were in this hellscape, this burning hellscape place, and I rescued everyone into me, and below were all those demons tormenting and saying shit to me as usual. And I was egging them on and tormenting them back.
Well, we'll pick you up right there. You're still there. You're sitting at a banquet table that has a lot of mostly eaten things now. You've been sitting there for about a week or so, and you've been eating wonderful food, cakes and sandwiches, and just any other caprese salad. You made all of it. You found a way to draw it all, if you remember. And you're sitting there. You have places to go to the bathroom. You have places to sleep, but nobody's there with you because you've been sitting there, kind of just eating. And I don't know if you've been drinking or smoking or anything else. It's up to you to decide. But you're sitting there, and meanwhile, the kids are still kind of giggling maniacally down that pit where those rivers of pus, rivers of scorpion, and rivers of blood are kind of trailing down into it. You're gonna come and see us. You're gonna come eventually. You'll be bored up there. Yeah, it's nice food, though. You'll run out. He won't run out. He's gonna run out. He's not gonna run out. Damn it, he's not gonna run out.
As they're talking, I go about my business and I draw a big old boulder.
Okay.
And a wooden plank, and I step on it and push it down the hill.
It falls in, and nothing seems to happen. Like it falls, and somewhere before it hits, it's kind of faded away. Almost like it's too big a cavern for one even big rock to do anything.
Right.
It may have hit the ground or it may not, but it's so far down you can't hear it.
I was hoping it would just hit one of them, but, you know.
We've got a whole city here. So many things to do, so many challenges and tests. One little rock's not gonna hurt us.
I stretch and I think about it for a second. and I look down there. What exactly do they look like?
Well, it's very far down, but you see basically there are buildings. Let's say like the kind of buildings that were on the North American and South American continents before European colonization. So Mesoamerican, very big, very beautiful, very complicated, big block, like, lots of beautiful designs of all the calendar days and even minutes and seconds all got drawn and carved in stone and into various faces and various gods and goddesses and deities. But the thing overall that you see is that within the big complex of buildings, there are 6 big buildings around a 7th building. The 7th building looks like where the kids are like holding their court or whatever, and the 6 buildings around it. And then outside of that, there's all kinds of, other buildings, but they seem to fade into the shadow.
And it doesn't seem to change because, I've been there waiting a while. Like, there's no nighttime. They just seem to be there. It's
all underground. It's to the point where it's probably always kind of dark there, although there seems to be lights coming from somewhere, enough to let you see it. It's kind of a dim twilight always there, maybe even a little darker than twilight, maybe like
have these things gone to sleep?
The kids? They've literally, friends, you've had a lot of good food and a lot of fun times.
How long have I really been here?
You've been here for a week and you've been fine, but throughout the entirety of the week, literally every moment you've been awake, you hear them giggling maniacally and stupidly. You'll come down here. You've got to. They might be getting a little desperate, but they might just always sound like that. You really can't tell.
Well, I draw myself, I clear all that stuff away, I get a new page, and I draw myself a room, and I give it a little round top, and I draw a hut.
It's a room, it's a room like a room inside a building?
Well, hut is kind of like a manifestation of physical place.
Oh, could you explain to folks who haven't read Visions of Xaltia what you're describing? I think I remember, but if you can describe it.
Oh, hut is a literal protective space. Some people with dissociative disorders to organize their split personalities or emotional splits will create manifested places that will keep them safe or separate them so they don't go buck wild and make you do crazy or dangerous things to yourself.
I see. Well, there you are. You're in that hut. Did it have...
In this scenario, his hut is manifested from a story being told about Baba Yaga, so it's a hut with chicken legs.
Okay. All right. And it is kind of the entity is kind of your friend, right? It's kind of like your protector.
Yeah.
Okay, well you're kind of like how the robots were protectors for Guy and everybody, a couple episodes ago. You basically have it looks kind of like a more organic version of the robots. It's the Baba Yaga hut. It's got chicken legs, and you're in it. But you're still standing there.
I get a little extra for it. I give his legs a little armor, some slick chainmail armor, and padding for the toes, a little steel on the windows. Give a little rockets on the sides.
Okay, well, you have that. You have all that.
But I go inside the hut, and I open a window, and I look at it. It's like, all right, we're going down there.
And does hut speak?
No.
Okay, well, you definitely feel the love of the hut and the strength of it and the protection. And you are now kind of going down into the Lords of Xibalba's territory. I was going to roll, but there's nothing to roll for yet. I guess I will roll. I'm going to roll you a 20-sided die so that you will see Do you like blue or gray better?
Blue.
Okay, blue will be yours, and it'll be there. So I'm gonna roll. You got a 2.
Yipes.
You fall. Hut. You end up down there. Hut falls down. You're still okay, but Hut has like sprained its knee very badly, so it won't be able to walk around too well. But you're down there and you're fine. You're outside of the city.
Inside, tumbling down the hill.
Huh?
I pictured me inside it, tumbling down a hill.
Yeah. Well, the Hut kind of like is stubbed his toe and sprained his knee, and it doesn't want to walk.
It's my fault. He's very good at flat land. I should have been thinking he was going to go down no canyons.
Well, you're protected in it, but it's gonna be, you can either keep walking in it with a limp, or you could do something, or try to heal.
I get him to sit down where he is and plant as a house like he does.
He does. Okay, there you are. You have a house there. You have a house basically in a little bit of land between the 3 rivers coming down. So on one side of you is the river of blood. The other side of you is the river of the scorpions. Further on the other side, you see the river of pus. It's all coming down into the central city complex. And you're kind of like a little house in between the blood and the scorpion rivers.
How scenic.
It's terrible.
I mean, I know some friends who are God, they really like this. They dig this.
Cool.
They'd be painting right now.
Nice. Well, I mean, this is nice. The kind of thing that this is actually taken from a mythology that I wrote a story about, more than 20 years ago. It was like a kid's version of the Popol Vuh, which is the specifically Maya Bible in a way, I guess. It's a bunch of stories, and one of the stories is Where You Are Now, which is the Lords of Xibalba. They are horrible people. I will, now that I've got their names up, I can teach you and myself again. They have names like 1 Death and 7 Death, Pus Master, Bone Scepter, Skull Scepter, Jaundice Master, Blood Gatherer, and Bloody Claws. Like somebody's called Jaundice, some other person's called Pus. And you get basically you're hearing them because they're all saying their names and they're laughing. They're like, I'm 1 Death, I'm 7 Death, I'm Pus, I'm Bone Scepter, I'm Skull, I'm Jaundice, I'm Blood Gatherer, I'm Bloody Claws, something like that.
Very nice.
While you're sitting there, do you have your books still, friend, that they're all in?
No, I was the only thing left behind.
Time out. So the book, when they went into it,
was just drawing with a stick.
I understand, but where's the book that they're in now is of course the book of Xaltia that your actual character Gale wrote with us and we made. But in this game, Penn, what is Penn's relationship to that book? Is Penn's book the actual book that you've been writing in, or is there a different book?
As if it were a charter.
Yeah, I see. Like in the
charter.
When we play that part of it, people will understand the significance of it. I actually wrote a little bit of it into the introduction of the live action scripture, talking about the idea of the charter and the scripture and all that. But I guess to make it easier for me to understand, when they all went into the book, which book did they go into? The book in your hands? Where are Cassandra, Isabella, and Tobit right now?
Oh, they're in Penn.
They're inside Penn, not inside his book.
No.
Oh, okay.
In the same way that Melchizedek in the first group had gone
into Penn.
Yeah, and the first group, they were led by the spider along with what was it? Who else was it? Martha.
Melchizedek. You had Elder Landy's character, the Fae, that never had a name. She was there.
Right. And they all were in there, and they were led across the sky moon, and then back through the mist to the city where they met what they thought would be the Archimandrake, but it turned out to be that some kind of evil was messing with this statue, and it was released out of the room, and it spread the miasma into the city.
Right. Now how much does Penn know?
You all got spit out, and then the hand of judgment came and ushered us into the halls of God's crypt.
Right. So the crypt is from there. You've all been going into like sarcophaguses, little worlds, but you were doing that a little bit, but you went into the city of AI, which comes from Joshua 7 and 8.
Right.
And
I was trying to pick it against the wrath of the god, wrath of the city, saying that they're all sleeping deities and that they're imprisoned
and both
could be released, but no one would listen. And I ended up finding this mysterious backpack that had information leading towards a group of individuals who were, I guess, rebels. I could say against the status quo of this place, which ended up leading us to a factory, finding out that most of the world is some gunk pudding, gray gunk pudding.
Yeah.
That they're refeeding the population, and that AI is producing things for people.
That basically we found out with Melchizedek in an episode that gunk, that gray crap, is actually the result of all the psychic suppression of all the city over the years, and it's created this nasty shit. But then somewhere in the mess of it, you found a factory, you also found a city, and all kinds of other things. But they have a whole industry of feeding that crap back into the products of food, beer, other things. No one knows why exactly, but that's what's happening. And then you came back and tried to tell everybody about it.
Yeah, we went to that town, and we snuck down to the so one of the things didn't technically happen and is possibly a mindfuck that happened. But we went to this town, found our way down into one of the facilities, found a bunch of juvenile men watching television and making fun of people through it.
Who eventually become these lords of Xibalba.
Right.
So, there you are. So basically,
I don't remember how we actually got in the hellscape in the first place.
You went into a book. You came into a book, the same book that you're holding in your hand. That got you into where you are. It's a very recursive thing. It's like you're holding a book, and holding a book, and holding a book. And because the book that you have is so powerful, you can do that. That's why I thought that the other characters had gone into the book, but actually they went into you, which is curious, because I was going to ask you another question. Would you like to roll a general sense of information? Like I don't even know what category, but you want to roll? You want me to roll for you? Trying to give you an insight. I'm trying to give you an insight. So. It's 4. Well,
so
here's
not really much.
No, what I could say is, my question to you is, do you ever feel them inside you? Or more importantly, do you think there's any way you would be able to communicate with them if you wanted to?
Who?
Cassandra Tobit and Isabella.
As it's always been, not really.
Okay, well there it is.
In this situation, I'm surrounded by all these characters, right? All these demon things. I don't think you would focus on that in a situation like that. I guess with a 4 that makes sense.
Well, you hear something knocking in your hut.
And I look out the window.
You see a person all covered in like blood and just messed up and like barely having clothes on. It's all raggedy. And you can't tell.
These guys again.
Huh?
I open the window. What do you want?
Help me! Please help me! Get me home! This doesn't belong here, so maybe you can take me home.
Does this look like a normal house to you, Jesus?
It doesn't. That's why I know it's the right thing. It's the thing I've come to. I've been down here too long. I was in those test houses, and I did not succeed. They cut me up.
What are you talking about?
The lords of Xibalba. And distantly in the background, you hear. Help me!
Okay, I draw a external bathroom.
Okay, you little outhouse.
And stuff. I'm like, here, and it's, hopefully, if it works out, I try to draw a bathing in little spot he could rest in as well. Like, I'm adding to this. Sounds like positive here. I put a nice little. I think it's something like the Sims that I like draw a little house thing.
Well, is there a shower in the house?
Yeah.
Well, the person like takes a shower and is lost in there for a while because there's a lot of cuts that the person's seeing to. You can't tell what gender they are. They seem to be not so well. Like they seem to be kind of nearing perhaps death, but they're very happy to take a shower and they're kind of happy and they're kind of lost in it.
Okay, see, that's not so bad. That was a good thing that happened, right? Me?
You talking to yourself or you talking to this person?
Oh, I'm talking to the hut.
Oh, the hut loves you. Like, yeah. Do you want the hut to talk?
He doesn't, though.
He doesn't, though. I thought you said he doesn't, so.
He can't talk. He's just a house with legs.
Yeah.
He's just a large room, really, with legs and a door and a window.
Let me see. I'm going to roll for this person. So I'll roll a. So I'll roll. I think I'll roll. Let me check. Let's see. I'll roll 3. Okay, 8. I gotta roll over 8. The person falls in the shower and is laying on the floor of the shower with the shower going.
Oh my goodness!
It didn't roll.
I draw a little ambulance.
Okay.
I draw a little ambulance. The little ambulance guys come to get him, and I'll set his bones, fix him up, and give him air and breathe him, and do all the ambulance stuff too. I draw a little ENT. I draw a little bus. I draw ENT.
So do you let's see.
I'm just hoping they don't look like the stick man I drew.
They look just like stickmen, and they take the person away, and the ambulance goes away. And is gone. You don't know where they went.
I touched the windowsill of the house. I'm like, who knows where that story just went off to? Okay, so since that guy is gone, I feel like I have a second in the hut. I'm gonna try to like collect myself and see if I can't think back the book. But I think the idea was that someone already has the book. And I saw that someone has the book already. And I think it would kind of make sense to the kind of connection we had already had before. It happened already between the spider and the cell.
What? Explain that.
With Tobit and Cassandra in the cell.
They're like looking at the. I remember last time they were in the spider web. What do you remember?
We had a fissured moment between us.
As storytellers, both of them.
Externally between them.
The spider was the way we all kind of shared the more meta story of what we were doing. Surely the spider could exist here. It depends on what you want to do. Do you want to try to contact the spider, or what do you want to do? Or do you want to do something else? Like, what was the insight you wanted from the spider so that that we could do?
Well, I was just trying to focus in on that thought of the spider itself.
Okay. You see, you kind of almost feel like a webbiness in the room of the hut. And it's not there, it's a kind of illusion, but you feel kind of like you're walking through, like I walk through my basement here and walk through a web. You know, it's like it's not like a full web, it's just like a little trace in it. And you feel that feeling. You could continue to focus on that feeling, or you could do something about it.
All right, well, if it's the feelings with me, that's good, because I guess my plan was to see when I go outside the hut and confront some of these tormentors.
If you want to roll a die, I'll roll a dice for you to see if you can contact the spider. Would you want to be that direct, or do you want to do something else with the spider?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. It's not very good rolling for you today. It's an 8. Although the spider can roll. Let's roll for the spider. Let's roll for the spider. And the spider rolls a 15. Okay, you rolled an 8. The spider reaches out to you, and you hear, and you basically see a web in your mind. And the web has little shimmers, like it's been in the rain or something. So like little bits of water making little mirror-type gelatin images of basically everything that's gone on inside your mind, inside the world, or inside yourself, that you see Tobit and Cassandra are looking at it. You see Isabella is in like a marketplace and about to like be on a mission of some kind. You feel the idea of it in a literary sense. You feel their intentions as if they're talking to you, but you don't actually talk to them. But the spider is there. If you want to send a message to any of the three of them, the spider offers that. Also, the spider offers advice on any worlds, because as you see, deep in the spider mind, the smaller you go, the more bigger everything is, actually. Kind of like a fractal. So the spider can be very small and then get into the fabric of the universe and actually transcend different dimensions of the universe by being that small, appearing again in the very large mega world of everything. The spider, by being small, can be quite large. In fact, maybe even is part of the thing that's weaving the very universe. We don't know. Do you want to send a message, or do you have something you want to tell the spider? The spider's listening to you and offering you its friendship.
Oh, hello, sir.
Hello, friend.
They need to take the book to the altar. Someone inside will understand what that means. The book needs to be at the altar. The metaphor has to be completed. Take the book to the altar and send it through so I could get everyone out.
That's a good idea, and I'll tell you that one of them, Isabella, had already concluded that, friend.
All right, that's good. So the only problem is, I thought I'd come in with them, but I'm trapped. I'm in a house in hell, and I'm living there rent free. I just saw a guy get taken off by the ambulance. I called the ambulance. It's not looking good for the future, considering the Scorpions and Blood River.
One thing I will tell you is I believe those are very deep currents. And as long as you don't go into the rivers, you won't have any problem of being flooded by them.
Okay. Well, small things, big favors.
I could take us into a different world. From your storyteller, it was this fellow, to yourself as storyteller, to those fellows. But it's up to you.
He looks confused. What do you mean?
Oh, it's very difficult to explain what's really going on to people in the game. Would you like to give a message to anyone, whether it's Cassandra or Tobit or Isabella? Other than what you told them, which I will convey.
Yeah, something good I know. Something good I know. Find, so if you feel conflicted, you could always look in Chianta's old crystal chambers in the castle for something that will keep you steady. I don't know if that made any sense. No,
well, I will send that to them and let them figure it out, I guess.
Okay. The Chianta, they all know who that is, and her tower is the last remnant of the old crystal moon. I don't know if anyone. You said no one knows that. No one knows any of that.
Well, I can send a clue wrapped in my own silk and send it in a bubble to them. I will send them something about the book in the stone circle that they must bring it to, and I will send another image of Chianta's crystals far up at the top of the tower.
All right.
So what I ask you, Gale, out of game, is do you want to switch to being storyteller and I will be the characters inside?
Now?
Or would you like to continue in the quest that you are in right now where, you're just sitting there in the hut. I can't do anything with that. I sent someone to you, and then you sent them to the hospital. So, I'm trying to get you in the game. And
I thought it was shower and clean up, and then they fell apart.
Well, they rolled they might have died on arrival because they were really bad off. They had been, whatever they went through, which is the clue. It's this is a nasty reality of what games are. Like, dungeons are really kind of terrible things, and dragons can kill you. So basically, this person survived whatever they're doing to them in there, and the only thing forward is either go in there and find out what happened, or I don't know, sit in your hut, or I don't know.
I think it's almost like Penn's mental capacity is almost as strangely possible as something as a farming game or a small time video game scenario. He's where his mind thinks. And so he saw somebody in trouble, and he's like, help them out give them HP by giving them a bath and shower facility, like in a sim scenario.
Well, you didn't do anything wrong to that person. That person was already bad off before they got there. So
I wasn't to be sure it was a person. It could have been just someone like, I'm fucked up, I'm also a demon, I'm pretending to be fucked up for you.
No. The person was genuinely fucked up. I don't know what race or nation or planet they came from. And I won't tell you anything more, but they had come running from whatever that shit is inside those central 6 or 7 houses. And
where did an ambulance take them?
Some magical ass hospital that you don't know because you didn't write that far. You could write about that and go there. You could do anything with that book. So picture your world and we'll go into whatever world you draw. Or you could go and confront these people, or you could do something else.
Okay, sweet. That gives me... Okay, so... Isabella...
What about Isabella?
It's another morning she wakes up. She's had several good and bad days. To where it was nice and Sautome was nice. There were a few bad days where he was her jail keeper again. But on either of those days, she seems to be learning everything. She's learned everything we pretty much talked about in relation to Xaltia.
Well, I'm lighting a cigarette. The thing I want to do is take this book to the, and I feel that I keep remembering as if I was a recurring dream, that I got to the place where I knew to take this book to that stone circle that we first came through here in, before they took us to the city. And I want to go back there, maybe bring Sautome with me, or maybe not, and maybe collect my friends Cassandra and Tobit. Cassandra and Tobit are really worried, especially Cassandra is really worried about Isabella, because that's the kind of personality Cassandra has, very taking care of everybody. Isabella's more independent, and she does want to see Cassandra and Tobit, but she also kind of just wants to get this book over there, so... What is the situation now? Can she leave?
Well, you're sitting in your room and you're talking, you're pacing and saying these things as Sautome it's a good day. He's in his regular clothing. He's looking out the window.
Hey, friend. Do you think we should?
Sautome seems to be looking out the window, pondering, confused, looking at something.
What you're looking at?
Your jacket is on the chair of the table in your room, armoire and everything, and your cigarettes are sitting there, and the door is open, and yeah.
What are you looking at, friend?
Huh?
Sautome, what are you looking at?
Just a little confused is all. It seemed as one moment it was cloudier, wasn't it?
It has a way of being cloudy and not quite sunny, but not as cloudy. It's a strange world, although I don't really remember the world I'm from very well, so maybe that is the way things are. I don't know. I don't see a sun of any kind. I see these moons, and sometimes I can see them properly, and sometimes it's too cloudy. And I feel like I'm in this eternal present in a way, where I'm simultaneously remembering things that were there, seeing things that are there, and having them kind of blend as I look at them. My thought, friend, because we were in this book, what happened to that book?
Huh?
There was a book we had.
Could you roll a 1d20?
Sure. I got 18.
Yeah, I'm gonna say okay. I figured if it was low, he'd be no. But high. So Sautome is 100%. Was it 100% invested? Was listening to you the entire time?
He was interested in what I was saying?
Yes, otherwise, if it was low, I was going to say he was distracted and wasn't listening, but he was completely invested. He was listening to you the entire time. He said, yes, I know exactly what you mean. And from his jerkin or whatever, he pulls out a scroll and he hands it to you.
Ooh. Huh. What does it say on it?
It's a map of the castle.
Interesting. I look around. What's the highest point of this castle? And I look at the map to see. Is there any legend? Is there anything written?
It's interesting because this castle you see is built the same way vertically as it is horizontally.
Huh.
It has it has a deep below as it is a high castle.
It's under the ground as much as it's above the ground.
Yes.
It's like a very large crystal, like a diamond or something. Is the top and the bottom the same thing or something?
Who are you asking?
Herself, as she reads it, she says it to herself and looks at it to see if she can figure that out from the map.
You roll.
I'll roll. I got a 12.
You've noticed that the map is cut out from it's a fold-up map cut out from a book.
I see.
And that the map also comes with a compass
Ooh.
on the corner, and it has a little key showing that where doors are, where rooms are. It even has a location. All the lower half of the castle's all been cut off for a long time, and it has a little key for all that is. So really, by your own whim of decision, you know where you'd want to go in the castle, because this is a pretty detailed map.
And where do I want to go in the castle?
Where do you want to go?
Well, you told me I would know what I want to do by looking at it.
Well, there's some interesting points on it. It says there's the crown jewel, the Elder Tales of Arcane Maelstroms, secret books of knowledge.
That looks good. Is there anything else going on with it that I should get?
There's a chamber of Xialtia and her first children, the Crystal Tower.
I like that place. I want to go there.
And then there's what they call the Guff of Souls, which is a transparent vessel that has a bunch of imagined things innocent children created that kind of go when they dissipate.
And these are all different rooms in this castle that I can see in this map.
Yeah. And if they're not like they used to be, none of them are functioning places. They're kind of just ruins of the past, and kind of like just, there's plaques in them and stuff. The first one if you go to the Arcane Maelstrom run, it's all plaques and stuff like talking about historic events and things. It's a dark room full of plaques pointing out different books, and it's just a tiny little library room full of his writing.
Well, how about that? I light a cigarette and walk out and tell Sautome, come with me. We're gonna go to see Chianti's thing.
All right. Can I have one of those sticks of yours?
Absolutely, friend. Would you like a regular, a menthol, or a clove?
Haven't tried one of menthol yet.
Those are good kind. Other than the clove, they're my favorite. What do you think?
I was really wanting one up until I had it.
I'll take it. I'll take that and the clove, and you can have a regular.
Okay. All right.
How's that one?
It's all right. It's more like the one you gave me originally.
Yeah. Well, let's go, friend. Oh wait, where's that book that we had? Is it in my pocket? Is it in my pocket? Is in the book that we had?
Oh, you have it. It's in your pants pocket. There's even a kid in there.
There's a what?
There's a kid in there.
Kid in the book. I remember. Yeah.
Occasionally, on bad days, you put Sautome in there.
How did he get out?
You've let him out, but you haven't put him back in. And the kid's still in there.
Well, I go to the Chianti place.
Well, that takes a bit. There's 2 stories up, and then you climb a tower. You climb a west wing tower for a while. It's pretty big, and it's the biggest one out from the outside. It's obvious looking for the tower for a reason.
This is a beautiful place.
It's pretty looking. It's bright, but it still looks like it's think of like an old castle, like that's become a museum. People live in it like that.
I see.
Except, of course, for the paladins.
What are the paladins doing?
They're studying the mist, Sautome tells her.
You know, friend, have we gotten to the Chianta place yet?
Yes, we reach a big door. There's a big insignia that says Chianta Allura, a product of pure fantasy made reality, destroyed by darkness and sundered by the red streaks known as
the stint.
The
stint. Right? What is that?
At night when you look up and you see those thin, like, red lines and stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, the lines will be close and there'll be those other little lines that, like, walk across the lines. That stuff.
They're almost like the kind of phantasms I get when I rub my eyeball with my eyes closed. Yeah, look at those. Wow, that's kind of cool.
Well, the stint was said to come into being because of some terrible thing that happened on one of the moons.
Can we go into this place?
Yeah. He goes on his little loop of keys. He fussles through his keys and he unlocks the door. And he opens and he steps aside.
I go in.
Go ahead.
I go in. Is the door shut?
No, he leaves it open and he follows in with you behind.
What's in here?
It's a beautiful bed chamber. There's this huge round bed on the east wing of the room. There's a viaduct of a separator of a curtain. Then there's a little changing area and a bathtub that's kind of in the middle of the west side of it. It's just a beautiful room and it's really fancy. There's windows on the far side, big curtains, tapestries, curtains around the bed itself. It's all draped in silvers, golds, and white linens and eggshell colors.
Is there anything here that, like, you read, or is there anybody here to talk to?
What do you mean?
Is it just this beautiful chamber with nobody in it?
Well, the Queen used to live here.
Oh. What happened to her again?
She's said to have been the representation of our Creator's mother, the innocence of it. It was corrupted by some kind of darkness or something like that.
So then we always want to know what happened wrong and what the darkness came and ruined that original goodness.
He thinks to himself. Broken disc with a song on it. What are they called?
Compact discs?
I don't know.
Something that you can record on. Something that you can record. I don't know what to call that. If I had a record of what I remember, I could probably remember what they called those. But I don't have that record. I can't even record the record of what I don't have, of knowing what that was.
Alright, well, if you're going to search for anything, you should do it now.
I'm going to search the room. General search. And the search is 10. I got a 10. Sautome, why don't you help search with me?
And I'm really not supposed to touch anything here.
Well, I searched. I rolled a 10.
Okay, and you find something interesting between the mattresses in the bed.
What is this?
It's a little itty bitty note.
Oh, what does the note say?
It seems to be a little birthday card.
And what does the birthday say? What does it say?
It says, "I love you so much, and I'm sorry for everything. It's just how it had to be, and all I understood. Please take care." And it's not signed.
She puts it in her pocket. Friend, I think we have to go to the stone circle.
Yeah, but how are we going to get out there?
On foot. Like I've been walking all over this castle all the time. I have enough cigarettes to last the walk. Let's go.
Yeah, but you haven't finished the training. They don't let you leave unless you finish.
What's the training?
Well, you know, they haven't put you out there yet.
Well, we need to expedite the training, friend.
All right, how about a montage?
I'll roll for a montage. As my friend once rolled for montage. I got a 19 for my montage, man. I got a good montage.
Okay, so you rolled a 19 for a montage. This is going to be a fun mental trip. Are you ready for a montage?
I'm ready for a montage.
The entire paladin
Core.
all of the paladins are there, and it's a musical montage, and they all individually train you in different skills physically.
Nice.
They got blackboards, and you're studying stuff with them.
You're a paladin now. That's right.
Montage continues, so like you have bad days with some of them when it's all foggy and you're talking with them in their chambers, and good days out on the town with some of them as they're teaching you about the city. So it's a really involved montage, the big musical finish.
You'll be a paladin now. Paladin now.
Shit like that. Some Disney ass shit like that.
You'll never get lost anyhow. Never lost ever again.
And then Sautome clears his throat and everyone kind of walks away.
They're just like, stop. Like the montage, like it's a huge number and they just all walk off the stage like nothing. That's great.
All right.
You know, I feel well, you know what? I actually feel very trained right now. Let's go over and find that stone circle. And by the way, where are Cassandra and Tobit right now?
Okay, so Cassandra and Tobit are having a good day in town along with you, so they could be there. And they're at the book guy's house, and they're having trouble getting out of his place because he's trying to explain to them that they need to open the door like a page and stop trying to open it like a door.
But it's a door.
No, everything's a book.
But that doesn't make any sense. We've been sitting here and sitting here and sitting here.
Yeah, ready?
Listen, if you're going to step in here and you're going to read and not buy, that's theft.
Well, what do you need? I don't have any money. Or do I have any money?
You're not using the door, you're reading it, and you're taking away from money. You need to pay for reading that door.
I don't have any money, but I do have this really good hat. Would you like to have my hat?
Your girlfriend's been reading my desks. She's been reading my chandelier. She read my jacket. That's my jacket.
Well,
the stories about my jacket are on this jacket.
Well,
That's
look.
my book. Sorry.
All I want to do right now is find my friend Isabella. Can Where in these pages is she?
I don't know. It must not have been written.
Is there any way Isabella could just like walk up to her or something?
Sure.
Hey, friend. Hi, Isabella. And they hug. And she hugs her really tight, and Isabella's just kind of hugging her a little bit and smiling, kind of ironically, smoking her cigarette and looking around.
Ah, the shopkeeper says, it looks like the beginning of a new story has sprung.
Indeed, just in time for this new song. You've been playing the same song for like weeks in this town. Perhaps this is the time to stop this adventure and do another one? Or is this the time to do another adventure at this point?
Oh, that's up to you, yes?
How,
You say... What would you say?
I would like to see it a little bit longer.
Okay. Well, the shopkeeper turns the page of his front door to release you back out into the city. And you're all standing together with them in the city with Sautome.
Well, guys, I, Isabella, would say I've been trained very well as a paladin while you were here eating food and arguing with that bookseller for quite a number of years, or weeks, or minutes, or... Time is strange here. It is strange here. Yeah, it is. Hi, Sautome?
Hello.
My name's Tobit. How you doing?
He shakes his hand.
Maybe we should leave here and, exactly. We should go to take this book to the stone circle at the end of this world and maybe get out of here.
But they also have to remember that they were in the book place because they were trying to find a way to get to Penn, who is in prison, and they want to kill them to end their own existence.
But I had this insight before, says Isabella, that we're kind of inside and outside, just like we're inside and outside this book. So if we could get the book, we could write our way to Penn. We could write Penn there, and then get to Penn in the book, and then in the stone circle send us back to wherever that took us into this world. That's my thought. I have no idea what you've been doing, but that sounds good to me. You know I'm just along for the ride.
I'm not supposed to be doing this. Says again, and he looks back towards the castle. But I could lead us out.
That'd be great. Let's go. How about this?
Well, it's very important everyone has a book, though. Does everyone have a blank book, a charter they can write in?
Let's get some from that guy. We have to. Sautome, could you spot us some money to get books for ourselves?
Not supposed to do that. He rumbles through his coin pouch and he hands you a bunch of silver.
Oh, thank you. Hey, we'd like a few blank books, please. She just keeps throwing down piles of money.
Oh, he hands you like 6 of them.
Sure, we'll keep the change. Thank you. Let's go.
And she did her little montage, and in her montage, they explained to her that all the paladins have a book because while they're in the mists are surreal, and if you think about something too hard, you'll start to see it.
Interesting.
And if you're with someone in the mist, you'll start to see things they're thinking about. So they have to collectively write these things together so they don't get lost. So if they all see something, they write it and rethink it so they can find their way together, or else they'll get lost. Kind of like what happened to Mir and Mur in the book was they were meeting together, but he was so infatuated with her, he wouldn't write in his journal what she was seeing because they wanted to keep the place private, and he ended up getting lost.
So the quest for privacy as a couple ended up being the problem that they got stuck in.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, I think this could be a good place to stop, Comrade Gale, because I believe this is, we just made an hour, so it's been an hour already. We should get together maybe soon, tomorrow, the next day, when you want to, and finish and go on with this, because they're about ready to go to the real gym. I mean, out the real gym, you know.
I like that that I just like planted a house in hell.
Yeah, that's where you are right now.
I planted a house in hell. I did a little. I feel like I'm just getting down. I'm doing some gardening.
Well, you know, the trip is people go in to seek them out, and if they don't seek them out, I don't have a lot of information for them to come out and get you. But eventually they're going to be desperate, and they're going to maybe even themselves come out, which would be really kind of a breaking of their own, you know, image. Because what they do is they sit in the throne room and watch you go through tests, and there's like different houses where different tests are conducted. And, of course, you would be where they are. But if they can't get you to come, they're going to have to use their brains and come up for a reason that they get you to come. So I don't know. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Or maybe somebody else will intervene. That can work too.
Yeah, playing in Pen's so stubborn, he doesn't want to do it.
No, you're doing it right. Everyone's playing their character. Like Isabella played her character. She almost didn't want to even visit all those chambers because she had really a monomaniacal mind to like get to that stone circle. So it's good that they finally got to that place. So that's good. That's good. What are you doing the next day or two? Are you going to be around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Today's Thursday.
Today, let's see. Today is the 18th of September.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, yes.
I'm not doing nothing till tomorrow night.
Okay, maybe even like tomorrow morning if you're around, I'll give you a text.
Alrighty.
Cool, I'll put this up for now, and that's what we'll do.
Alright, thank you, usual. It was always fun. I wish we would have stuck around longer in the other scenario.
Oh, the hell scenario?
Yeah.
Well, we could always go back there at will, and that's one of the nice things. You could like do parallel action where they're doing something on this level, you do something on that level. But basically, depending on how you want to write this thing, because it is obviously from the world that you created along with Nancy Spider and what we did together, it's kind of up to you to decide how that porousness between those worlds are. But at the same time, it seems to me logical that they could come out of the book in where you are if they do it right and there's no obstacles. But that's up to you as a storyteller within the world, whatever obstacles they are going to confront.
It could be I have a few ideas. It could be serious, but it'll also be funny obstacle. There's a few other things I think would be
Makes a lot of sense that there would be an adventure or 2 or 3 before they could get out, but their destination, the terminal, is actually like really obvious. They know where that terminal is.
They're all allowed. They're there. They're at the end of the town. They could go out into it.
Yeah, and I love the montage that he was able to get. I'm glad it rolled really well.
Would you like to have a montage?
It's like a musical number with hundreds of people playing and dancing.
It's time to have a brain-bending montage. Yeah, you're there.
Oh, this is great, man. I love this. Well, thanks for doing this with me, friend, and thanks for doing it for the community and everybody we're getting together to do. I hope more people see it. If they see the thing that you're seeing right now and want to look at the rest of it, it's up there, obviously, in the live-action scripture. Right now, it's under the landmark landfill because there'll be landmarks in the landfill, but that's on the verge of where you are now. It's also part of the City of the Gods campaign, which is in parentheses. So it's the last the first playlist, in other words, the last one listed, as anyone who's reading this or watching us would be able to find out on the All Faith Church Liberation YouTube channel and any other way you're hearing this. Gale, thank you, and I'll call you. I'll text you tomorrow and see what you're at.
Thank you. So long. Have a good night.
You too, friend.